Hello, my name is Mike McMains. I am a volunteer docent with the Chicago Architecture Foundation. Right now we're standing here right at Adams and Wabash, and we're right in the heart of Chicago's downtown. The elevated tracks that you see right up here, this is forming the eastern border of Chicago's loop. That is a 7-block by 5-block stretch of trains that really circle around Chicago's downtown. It's a very appropriate location to answer a question, and you can hear part of the question coming through right now. This is a question from Andrew in Muskegon, Michigan. He says, "The L is so noisy and unsightly. Why don't we just move this into a subway instead?" Well, you can hear the noise and you can see the tracks. So I am here to answer that question for you. The answer to this all dates back to the 19th century. In the latter half of the 19th century, Chicago was the fastest growing city in the entire world. In order to get all these people coming downtown, which is this neighborhood right here, you have to use mass transit. In the 1880s, we were relying upon horse cart and we were relying upon cable cars, but those were all at street level. And the street level was really congested. So in order to bring in more mass transit, you have to either build below in the form of a subway or build above in the form of elevated train tracks. A lot of people were not interested in having elevated train tracks because they're very noisy and unsightly, just like Andrew cited. And there was also a lot of concern with it because it was a relatively new type of process. A new type of transport. The New York Academy of Medicine in 1897 said elevated trains, quote, prevented the normal development of children through convalescing patients into relapses and caused insomnia, exhaustion, hysteria, paralysis, meningitis, deafness, and death. Despite all of these reservations about the elevated lines, including the unfounded ones from the New York Academy of Sciences, we opted to go with that option as opposed to the subway. And the main reason for that is because the subways are much more expensive to construct than the elevated lines. It's a lot more cost efficient to go with the elevated lines, despite the noise and despite the perceived unsightliness. Now, ever since the inception of the elevated lines, people have really tried to make a push to have them demolished and have it replaced with a subway system. The last major organized push for that occurred in the 1970s. Now, even if we had all the money in the world and we could easily, economically replace all the elevated lines with subways, I would not want to do that. The elevated lines that we have right here, it's a really unique experience in America. We're the only American city that still has elevated lines running through its downtown. When you're up there, you're able to get a unique perspective of our city, be able to see so much of our architecture, see so much of the urban environment, all the activity that's happening around you, where you really wouldn't capture that at street level. So I am thankful that we still have these elevated train tracks here today, and it's a definitely unique Chicago experience.